Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing all right. It's time for the predictions video. Yes, we had a very early Rustore rotation today because we had the September 4 swipe. We had the airborne update. But just want to point out that because of a very early Rustore rotation, you can't really compare the amount of sales that we see here today with previous week's episodes. It wouldn't really add up very well. So, like I said, it was September 4 swipe. Quite a lot of people returned to play the game today. And like I said, it was the airborne update. We have the introduction of the likes of the attack helicopter, parachutes, you name it. Lots of interesting content. However, let's just look at the player counts here. Because remember, over the past month, we were talking about the autumn-fall seasonal dip. Well, just look at this. Now, this was before the update happened, so I know that's very low, but that was before the update. This is what it looked like after the update. We only peaked at 126,000 people today, and you probably don't fully grasp the situation, so let's just compare that to the previous months, and now you can probably see. For July, we had a peak player count of 182,000. August, 172. September, 126. Now, maybe we might see more tomorrow for, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The weekend, maybe it might have more. Maybe. But overall, you can basically see that players are kind of going down. They're disappearing, essentially. But don't worry, this was expected. As I said, it's the autumn-fall seasonal dip. We tend to see, well, as expected, mostly the kids probably going back to school and, people going to college and whatnot. They don't have so much free time. They can't constantly play games all the time, so... what a shame. But yeah, anyway, less people playing does lead to prices for Ruskins going down. It's a routine thing. It happens every single year. We warned you about it. So if you're worried about your Ruskins going down in price, don't be too surprised by it, okay? But what we definitely have to be aware of is the fact that if the prices are going down, if you don't keep check on all of your buy orders, you might get a rude awakening. If we just quickly look at this, you have to keep an eye on all of your buy orders. Otherwise, you might randomly buy like hundreds of a skin that you put a buy order down for, and you will very unfortunately realise it's been going down in price pretty sharply, and now you have to wait a long time until you can sell it again for a decent profit. Right, so please keep an eye on all of your buy orders. We have to be extra careful from now on, all right? So yeah, don't worry. This isn't like, we're not doomed, right? This was expected. It very likely will be worse for October. Things are expected to kind of improve in November. Things are going to be a whole lot better in December. And then when we see January 2024, post-Christmas time, you're going to see a lot more people playing the game, and you're going to see Ruskin prices going... Right, so here's a nice bit of optimism. I really do think that we're going to beat last year's January average player count. January 2024, I honestly think we'll have over 100,000 average people playing. All right, average players playing. You're so average. I also throw my hat in and say, well, I don't even have a hat, but anyway, you get the idea. I reckon we might even reach 200,000 peak players. So that is what I'm hoping to see. That is what I'm expecting to see. Winter sale, Rust's on offer again. Maybe. Also, Rust's 10th birthday is in December this year, so maybe we'll get some very interesting content being introduced, and maybe loads of people want to play it. So loads of people playing equals more demand for skins equals skin prices go. So times are bad at the moment because less people playing, but times are expected to be a whole lot better later this year because loads of people return. Sounds good? Awesome. So, and of course, Christmas time, people return, have more extra time to play games. You get the idea. Oh, and Christmas money. Christmas money equals more money to throw away at Pixels. So, yeah. The main point was you have to be aware of the situation, and the player count today was just a stark reminder of what it's like at the moment. So, let's now start talking about these skins and get a good idea of which of these skins potentially could be the best investment this week. I'm going to start off with the likes of the Sand Rhino Tier 3. I'm confident in it. It's a brand new set. By default, if we see the likes of Hoodie and Pants or Tier 2 armor being made and potentially accepted, things will be a whole lot better for it. So, number one, we've got to keep an eye on the likes of the Workshop, which I do believe is over here. No, okay. No, that was a trade. There we are. Yeah, there we are. Got to keep an eye on that Workshop. Right, so, basically... what might you instantly think of if you're thinking of desert armor? What's good for desert camouflage? And you are probably thinking of right now Desert Raiders. But how expensive is Desert Raiders? Oh no. Here we go. Desert Raiders Tier 3 armor currently costs, it might have gone down a fair bit. Yeah, the pair of that, $50+. On a good day, maybe $60. That's expensive. Do you know what isn't that expensive? This right here. For both of these, that costs $5. And for a lot of people, that's a whole lot more approachable. And personally, I don't see that much of a difference in terms of how well it performs as desert camouflage. So, potentially, we might have ourselves a very nice desert camouflage budget option being introduced. And we do know Himic will be continuing this set. He's confirmed it. He definitely will do that. So, from here on now, if we do see new core pieces being submitted to the workshop, aka hoodie and pants and tier 2 armor, all the better for it. More positivity, more confidence in it. I'm happy with that, all right? And pair that with the fact that Desert Raiders is quite expensive. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in this. It might sell quite a lot. That's going to be something I'm going to be not too surprised about. But with the, lesser player count overall at the moment, which we talked about at the very beginning, and maybe some people trying to save money, which you shouldn't be too surprised by, maybe it won't sell that much. But then, if there's less sales than expected, it might rebound ever so nicely towards the end of this year, post-Christmas time, and it might just shoot up in price. Also, if we do see continuations appearing and being accepted, spike in demand, spike in price, you know the routine, yeah, just take that into consideration. Now, both of these skins are abnormal, all right? So, in the financial terms, we don't have to rush into buying it. We could keep an eye on the sales Wednesday night or wherever you are in the world. We could look at this and figure out, what might we want to do? Of course, buy orders first, look at it afterwards, and then figure out if it's a good idea to jump in and buy into them. But if we keep an eye on the likes of the workshop this weekend, maybe we will see a continuation appear this weekend. And if we do, we're going to feel a whole lot more confident in it. You get the idea, you get the routine. So things are looking good for it, both in the short term and potentially in the long term. Because when loads of people return to play the game and whatnot, they might say, oh, Desert Raiders, that's expensive. Wait, hang on a minute, this is right here. That's a whole lot more affordable. Yeah, I'll probably buy and use that instead. So, yeah, looking pretty good, all right? So let's just leave that for now. But like I said, if you like the skins, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it. Support the skin creators, but we're looking at everything with the financial perspective. We're trying to make sure that we don't accidentally lose money. All right? So we have to question, is it potentially a good idea to maybe buy a few of these right now? It's okay as of now, but to be extra safe, I'd rather do the buy orders first, and that's what I'm like for every single week. So yeah, it's the routine thing. You know what I'm like. Right then, what's the next thing I should talk about? The high quality metal gloves. So when these appeared, because we had a very early acceptance, didn't we? People just outright bought out all of the high-quality metal tier 3. Now, they've kind of slipped back down in price again, but the fact that this only was submitted this past weekend, this was an early pick, I'm feeling kind of extra confident that Diaz very likely will be making hoodie pants or, tier 2 armor at some point soon. And I'm feeling pretty confident that Facepunch likes it and they will accept it. Now, we thought Abyss Tier 2 was easily going to be accepted, didn't we? That didn't happen. But things are still looking pretty good for this, right? It is looking optimistic. The fact that this was just instantly accepted definitely kind of gives me some confidence that I think high quality metal seems to be liked by them, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets accepted. So what do we always say? If we do see new core pieces being accepted, by default, the pre-existing core pieces will spike in demand and spike in price. But that does apply to other pieces, such as boots and gloves. And if we just go take a look at all the boots and Roadsign gloves that came out this year, just the Roadsign gloves, you might notice they're all kind of doing all right. And you might also notice this has a collection, aka clothing and armor. This has clothing and armor. This has clothing and armor. This has clothing and armor. Not all of it, but enough. This doesn't really, but this does have just clothing. Anyway, point is, if there is clothing and armor, the skins are going to do all right. And in some cases, do a whole lot better. But like, even Pirate Roadsign gloves, all of the skins in that Pirate collection did like 50,000 sales. But even then, that's still holding up. That's still doing okay. And this is the bad times. Imagine what that's going to look like when we have good times. January 2024. So, yeah. I think this is going to apply to that, the high-quality metal gloves. Now, I don't think this is going to sell that much. I think it's going to be fairly okay. If we compare this again to the likes of the Tier 3, I personally think this is going to probably be fairly equal to or less than in terms of the sales of what these have. Maybe about 10 to 12,000 sales probably. And if we do see that hoodie pants or Tier 2 being made at some point in the horizon, all the better for it. So, The best that we can do is just keep an eye on the workshop for now, and then consider approaching this maybe on like the Wednesday or Thursday. This isn't abnormal, but we don't have to rush into anything, do we? All right. So let's just leave that for now. But things are looking pretty interesting. I'm confident that we're probably going to be seeing more high quality metal being made soon and being accepted. Right. Last thing that I want to discuss is the banana tier 2. Now, it doesn't matter. Banana collection, right, has been very successful this year. And just take a look at all of that, and you should kind of respect that. It's been getting a lot of skins. Face Punch seems to like the banana collection. I wouldn't be surprised, and I am fully expecting it, because I spoke to PYH, who also made these skins. They're going to continue this. We're going to have hoodie pants or tier 3 being made at some point. How quick will that be? I probably wouldn't be surprised if it's within the next 2 weeks. How likely is that to be accepted? Well, look at all the other banana skins that we've been seeing being accepted this past year. Doesn't matter. New core piece is accepted. Pre-existing core piece will go up in price. So, yeah, banana collection. How far will it go? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. Even if this doesn't sell that much, all the better potential for this to rise up in price and whatnot, because there's less of them in circulation. Less people buy them in excess. Also, we don't really have any full yellow collections, do we? Clothing and armour, to be specific. Do you like yellow? Do you want to be a banana? We could all be bananas. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, point is, this is also basically in the same position as the likes of the Rhino. If we do see more core pieces being made and potentially being accepted, it'll still go up in price. It'll still do all right. But this is expected to have less sales compared to this. I wouldn't be surprised by that in the slightest. But as I said, less sales can usually also mean very nice profit potentially in the future, because it's got less of it in circulation, so that easily gets bought out, and therefore the price just easily goes up and up and up in price. It could even surpass Rhino, but I don't know. But anyway, there's nothing that we can really compare this to, so we'll just have to wait and see. Now, this is also not abnormal, but again, we don't necessarily have to rush into buying anything at the moment. Again, workshop, got to keep an eye out. Will we see any new banana skins being submitted anytime soon? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I know this is pretty routine now. I know I'm basically repeating a lot of things every single week, but if I'm just being reassuring to you every single week, I'm sure you get the idea across. You know, you will learn. You will see how things are. But I'm being extra cautious from now on, because like I said, prices of skins aren't exactly holding up very nicely, are they? All right? So I know I can anticipate some people saying, you're just saying the same thing all over again. Well, that's Rust. That's Rust skins. You'll realise so many things just repeat over and over again. It's very routine. Why do you think I have so many skins and so much profit? I've survived the bad times. I've thrived during the good times. All right? Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking right now, how come you didn't talk about any of the other skins? Because I don't think they're going to do all right. You might have sat there and said, but what about the sheet metal doors? Look at all the sheet metal doors this year. Look at them. Come on, hurry up. I'm trying to prove a point here. Yep. Oh, yeah, they're doing all right, aren't they? Yeah. We've had a lot of sheet metal doors this year, and quite a lot of them at $2.49. Yeah, they're not holding up very well at the moment, are they? I wouldn't be surprised if we see even more doors being accepted, sheet metal doors to be precise. And yeah, whilst these are kind of goofy, I don't imagine they're going to retain their value. Like, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. So, yeah, that's awkward, and that's another AK. We've had far too many AKs this year. That very likely will just end up going all the way down to $1, and yeah. It's the awkward timing, because if you really wanted an AK, you probably already bought the likes of a Chameleon AK, or a Pirate AK, or that cool-looking Knights Templar AK. You know what I mean? We've had like 4 or 5 AK-47 skins being accepted over the past 4 or 5 weeks, so it's awkward timing for that one. But all this clothing and armour, by default, has very good potential. It's all a matter of, do we see more? Will we see more? So yeah, that's just basically it. And as I said, if it's all based on will we see more, well, if you don't really want to be staring at the Rust Workshop all of this weekend, you at the very least can just wait it out and see when my next Rust Workshop skin checks video will be released. So Yep, I always put these out every single week. And if you don't like the video length, just go down here to the description. I have loads of chapters specifically pointing out all the continuations of collections. And you could also just look at here. Look, the collection link is right there. You could just go through all the skins here all by yourself. So yeah, don't fear it. So yeah, we'll know practically every new skin that's been submitted by Tuesday. And that's when I normally do the video. And it usually gets released at some point on a Wednesday, depending where you are in the world. So with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to you and all of your investments. Stay safe. Keep an eye on all of your buy orders. It's probably going to get a little bit worse from here on now, but the good times will be just around the corner. Just a few more months, and all the Christmas skins will be going up in price, and then after that, every single skin will be going up in price. Sounds good? Catch you all later. See you, goodbye.